Hey everyone, this is Dark Knight from Method Gaming. Welcome to my first Shop Titans video. This video is basically going to be an overview of the game Shop Titans by Kabam, and basically it's been a game that I've been playing for coming up to a month and a half actually, sort of as a time waster in between the other game that I play, Raid Shadow Legends. So if you've been following me for the raid content, you might actually be surprised to see a video about this particular game because it's almost nothing like raid. But actually, it's been a lot of fun for me. So I decided to make a bunch of videos on it because, firstly, I didn't really find enough. Videos on the game on YouTube when I was starting out. I tried searching for a few things and couldn't really find anything that I found particularly concise or useful. So maybe that's just me. Maybe I didn't find the right YouTubers to watch. But I know that maybe some other people will be in my situation, and hopefully you stumbled upon this video, and hopefully this video actually and the series of videos that I'm going to make afterwards actually help you out. So without further ado, let's get right into it and talk about what this game's all about. Basically, this is a time waster game. You can have a lot of micromanagement involved in this game. So if you enjoy staying on your phone and just doing a bunch of stuff, chatting with other people and so on, this is most likely almost the perfect game for you. But it's perfectly fine if you don't have that much time to waste on a game because honestly, you can play at your own pace, and it's you decide how much time you want to spend on the game. It's not that involved. It's not that it's not too competitive. It's more about just enjoying yourself and doing whatever you like, playing with friends or guildies and so on. All right, so Shop Titans basically pretty much gives you the idea behind this game. You own a shop and you basically craft items or you buy and sell them from the market and so on, and you also sell them to customers here as well. So the idea here is to make as much money as you can. The more money you make, the higher level you get. You unlock more things, you unlock new heroes and better heroes, more items and so on, and basically you sort of grow your own merchant empire from your own shop. You can expand it, you can rearrange it, you can pretty much do anything you like with it. So let's get right into it. I wanted to go through the user interface real quick, just show you what you can do and kind of give you an idea of what the game is about and what sort of things you can do while also going through the user interface. So let's start at the bottom right here with the craft button. When you click on craft, you can basically get into the menu where you can start crafting. At first, you're only going to have access to tier 1, maybe tier 2 items. I honestly don't remember. The good thing about the game is that it does have a tutorial in the beginning, so you can play through that and it'll give you the basic idea behind the whole thing. So definitely pay attention to the tutorial and what they try to teach you there. But the idea here is you have these low tier items that you start with, and you have to start crafting them. And the more of these items that you craft, the more benefits that you get. For example, if we take this one, you can see that there are what is called milestones, and basically each milestone gives you some sort of a bonus. For example, in this first case, when you reach the first milestone for the cudgel, you unlock a blueprint for a shield, and then another blueprint for a different type of club, or I don't even know what it is, a spiked club, I guess. Then the value becomes 1.5 what it was. Then a quality chance for a better quality item is doubled and then tripled. And at that point, you've pretty much mastered the blueprint, and it starts looking like this, golden. Whereas, for example, the ones that you haven't mastered, that you're still working on, look like this, and the ones that are still locked look like this. So you can also ascend these items using Ascension cards. we'll get to that in a different video, though. This is a bit more complicated. I can't really say that I've figured it out myself, but I can give you a few pointers. But the basic idea here is try to save those as much as you can. You'll need them for later in the game. In the beginning, it's not such a great idea to be using them on low tier items because you'll grow out of those low tier items really quickly. All right, so again, these are your most recent items that you've crafted. If you're looking for something that you just crafted like 5 minutes ago, you can just search for it here. You can bookmark items if you want to as well, or you can search for them by category: swords, axes, daggers, and so on. You've got the armor here, and you've got the various trinkets and stuff over here on this side. You can also craft enchantments. Those are special items. You can't directly sell them to customers, but you can use them to enchant your other items. And the higher the value of the item, the more value it will add to the enchantment. Rather, when you put an enchantment on the item, it'll be more expensive. Alright, so let me just collect these real quick. And you can see that I have this claim reward thing pop up here. This is because I just completed a bounty, but we'll get to that in a second. Because this is a Steam client, it actually looks a bit different from what you would normally see in your phone or tablet if you're playing the game on phone or tablet. But recently, actually, they released the Steam client, I think a couple weeks ago, which was amazing because I was actually really struggling with how to record videos for this game if I was going to have to do it through my phone. I was really worried about the sound quality. Not that the sound quality currently is amazing, but it's still better than just recording on your phone. So this is something that just happened at the right time for me. This Steam client basically allows me to record videos, high quality videos that I wouldn't normally be able to do on just by recording them on the phone. All right, so here you can see your resources. Now, when you start out, you're not going to have as many resources. You'll mostly be limited to these here: iron, wood, leather, and eventually you can also buy the herbs. So this is the basic stuff that you get. Later on, you get these secondary, more advanced crafting materials, which you'll unlock as you go. So don't worry about them just yet. Um, in the design section, you can basically expand your shop. As you can see, you can have up to 9 squares total. So you can. This is as big as your shop can get, I think. I don't think it can get any bigger than that. So here it basically tells you what level you need to upgrade to the next level to expand your shop, and the amount of gold that you need, or you can also expand instantly if you have the gems. Of course, the earlier expansions are much cheaper, so don't freak out if you see this large number. The next thing is the customize button. This is where you can basically customize the flooring or the wallpaper. Something to note here is you can get some of the wallpaper for gold and some of it for diamonds, which is basically the premium currency. But once you get a specific type of wallpaper, you don't have to pay for every time you use it. It says here owned. Basically, you can use it for free and just change the wallpaper as much as you like, as long as it's something that you've already bought. Same goes for the flooring. This is something that you can just play around with until you get to what you like. And finally, here we have the furniture. Basically, we have the stands or racks where you can put your items. You've got the vertical rack, the table, shelves, the mannequin, and trunk. This is basically your inventory space, so to speak. This is where your weapons go. As you can see, it shows you what sort of weapons go on the vertical rack. On the table, you usually have things like bows, shields, and so on, daggers. On the shelves, you've got the accessories such as rings, amulets, and so on. And on the mannequin, of course, you have the different types of pieces of armor that you can use. Here, you've got your different bins and containers for basic and advanced resources that you use for crafting. You've got the iron bin, wood bin, leather bin, and so on and so forth. Keep in mind that you can use more than one. As you can see, it says here 3 out of 5. So that means that I have 3 iron bins, and the maximum would be 5. Of course, I can't really put any more right now because there's actually a limit to how much stuff you can put in your shop. Let's take this vertical rack for example. You see, it says expand your shop for more space, because if you see here, it says 40 out of 40. So you have to give it some thought when you're setting up your shop as to what you're going to put in. However, it's not something that you really have to think too much on, because even if you realize that you did something wrong, you can always actually remove, or rather put some of the items sort of like in your inventory. Like, let's take a look at this ironwood bin, for example. If I wanted to put something else here and I didn't need that one, I could just click edit and then store. So I put it in storage and it'll stay there. I'll still have it, and it will keep any upgrades that it has on it, but it'll free up one slot for something else if I wanted to. But I don't want to, so I won't do it. Alright, so these two sections take up slots. These, however, do not. These are basically decorations. You can do anything you like with these decorations. They give you prestige, but prestige doesn't really play a big role in your actual day-to-day sales and things like that. Uh, it only kind of gets you on the leaderboards if you have like a really high prestige. This is as far as I know, this is the only benefit that you get. However, putting some of these items in your shop, such as for example the cheapest ones would be the plant. If you have a bunch of plants in your shop, or even just one, sorry, I apologize for that, even just one or two, you can have your customers sort of like admire them, and that gives you energy. We'll get to energy a little later. Alright, so this as far as design goes. I think I missed something here. Okay, so these are the outside decorations that you can use, basically outside in front of your shop. And finally, you've got some carpets here that you could potentially use to spice things up. Alrighty. Next, you got your inventory. This is where you can see what sort of items you have in your inventory. This is where you can check what sort of enchantments you've got going. These are quest items, which are basically components, special components that you can get from quests or from the market. And these are other special items such as XP drinks, stamina drinks. These are basically like healing potions. I mentioned earlier that you have heroes. They basically allow your heroes not to have any rest time and to be able to go out on quests immediately after coming back from one. So that's something that can be useful, but you kind of want to save those actually, along with the phoenix feathers, because there is a special event that comes up every couple of weeks, and that's when these really count. You want to be sending your heroes and your champions on missions all the time as much as possible. So having those stacked up for those events is better than just using them randomly, every single day. You've got repair kits, which you can use for repairing items. This is one of the one of the things that I don't like about the game is your items can actually break. And you also have chests that you get from quests, and you can unlock them if you get keys. Usually, after beating a certain area, a quest area, you unlock the boss, and you have a decent chance of getting a key from the boss. But normally you would have more chests than you have keys. So as you can see, I've got a bunch of chests here, and I just don't have the keys to open them. Finally, we have two of the most important items here that you're going to have, the research scrolls and the Ascension Shards. Now, initially, the research scrolls basically they unlock new item types or new items in general. And initially, those are going to be cheap to unlock. You can also get a research scroll for each each level of sort of development that you get for each item, so you'll be stacking up those quickly. But eventually you'll get to a point around tier 5 or 6 where you'll actually be spending more research scrolls than you're getting. So right now I only have 16 and I have a bunch of items which I haven't even unlocked yet, so I'm kind of stuck and really in need of those right now. But I'll get them eventually. There are different ways to get them. Finally, Ascension Shards. These are really important. You can further improve your items in different ways by using Ascension Shards. But like I said in the beginning, until you know what you're doing, you should save those as much as you can and not really use them. Alright, moving on to the next one. These are the goals and the bounties. So the goals are basically divided into tasks and bounties. The tasks are more of a personal type of thing. This is something that you complete on your own and you get fortune tickets, 1 or sometimes 2. And when you go to the fortune zone, you spin this wheel and you get different types of payouts depending on what you get. If you don't get any matches, you get 3 points. Cherries give you 10 points. Watermelons give you 25, and so on and so forth until you get to the jackpot. And then here you can redeem those coins for various items. One of the things that is really valuable to get here is Ascension Shards or hero coins, or rather champion coins, I'm sorry. Because these will help you unlock the champions faster. You can reroll this once a day, but I've already done it for today, so it wouldn't let me. Also, if you buy something, it'll usually go on a 8-hour timer if you buy one of those 1000 point items, or for example, the shards are also 1000 points, rather the coins for the champions. But if you buy a smaller item, it's usually a smaller cooldown and something else will show up in its place, so you can actually get more than 3 items a day if you get all of them and just wait for them to reappear, something different. Alright, after that, after that we've got bounties. Now I just completed one, so I'm going to collect the reward. I get 10 guild coins. And here you can see there's a weekly renown thing, level 8. What does that mean? Well, basically, in the guild, we've got a renown which we get from completing these bounties. And if we get to level 10, we get 1000, I think, guild points, which we can then use on upgrades which affect everybody in the guild. So very useful, very good to be able to max this out. It's not that difficult. If you have at least maybe 7 or 8 active people in the guild, even less people than that can do it, but they have to be really active with the bounties. But we're on day 2 right now, and we're almost done. So, like I said, it's not that difficult. And of course, here the bounties are separated into different types: easy, medium, and hard. But we'll get to that in a different video. Alright, something else, by the way, these tasks, you can have up to 3 tasks, and you get 1 new task for each, I think 2 hours, 45 minutes or something like that. You can actually re-roll those. If you click here, you have up to 3 re-rolls. If you don't like the task, for example, if you don't want to bother with bringing white sand from the barren wastes, 45 pieces, you can just roll to see if you get anything else. So for now, I'll leave this one. Maybe I'll do it. Alright, after that we have the characters. Starting left to right, you've got your heroes first. Basically, these are hireable heroes that you can get. You basically click here on the hero slot. Right now I can't buy a new one, but I can show you what it looks like. So basically you've got 3 types of heroes: fighters, rogues, and spellcasters. And every type has a subtype. You've got the soldier, barbarian, knight, ranger, samurai, berserker for the fighter class. For rogues, you've got thief, monk, musketeer, wanderer, ninja, dancer. For spellcaster, you've got mage, cleric, druid, sorcerer, spellblade, and geomancer. So these are some heroes that you can pick. Usually the leftmost ones are unlocked first. Like, for example, take a look, the fighter is free, the rogue is free, spellcaster, or rather the mage and the thief are also free. But when you get to the later ones, if you hit recruit, it's going to ask you for significantly more gold. For example, you're going to need 5 million to, and level 53 as well, to get a dancer. Alright. Now, when you create these, by the way, don't worry about their appearance. If you're just in a hurry to create them, go for it. Don't worry about the name or the appearance, because you can actually later go into this cogwheel here and you can customize them. You can change their gender, size, pretty much anything that you could have chosen when you were first creating this hero. You can change here. You can also rename them, so that's something that you can do at your own leisure. You don't have to specifically invest time into doing that. As soon as you get the hero, you can do it later. Next, we've got the champions. Now, these are only, how many are there? 6. These are only 6, and they're kind of like leaders. They have leader skills, and they always go into the leader slot. You can actually put champions in any of the other slots for quests. And we'll go into them in a different video, go into detail, but basically you've got your Argon, who is your first hero. You unlock it when starting. You unlock him when starting the game. He's pretty good, but later on he kind of falls off. The others are really interesting as well. And the thing about them is, I don't know if you noticed, but when you check the heroes out, they have an inventory sort of where you have to equip them with items, which increases their overall stats and their power. And that helps you go through more difficult quests. The thing about champions is that they don't have this gear. They have ranks instead. So I mentioned earlier hero coins. You need those hero coins to first unlock the champions and later to rank them up to a higher rank, which also means that they get certain bonuses. They get their skills improved. For example, this Argon's skill is Aura of Resolve. It's a leader skill and gives plus 20% attack and plus 20% defense to the party. Initially it starts out as plus 10, but because I ranked him up to 4, this got improved, and it'll also rank up again if I get it to 7. I think, where was it? Okay, there we go. Next upgrade, rank 7. And it'll show you, if you click here, it'll show you that the bonus is going to be 30% for each. Alright, so this is something that's very useful, because not having to equip gear on these champions means that their gear also won't be able to break. So that's something that'll kind of alleviate the pain of having to re-gear your champions if their gear keeps breaking. Alright, and finally we've got a bunch of workers here. Workers, basically, as you level them up, and you level them up by crafting the type of item that they normally would make, like for example blacksmith, that would mean weapons, carpenter, that would mean wooden weapons, for example, or anything that is created with wood, and so on. Basically, they get leveled up for every item that you create, and they give you a craft speed bonus. So the higher that you get them in level, the more speed, or the faster that you craft their type of item, basically. Alright. Finally, actually we'll get to this in just a second. I wanted to show you this energy here. Now, if you come from a game such as, for example, Raid Shadow Legends, or any other game where you use energy to do missions and it eventually runs out and it kind of replenishes over time, this is not the same thing. This is actually quite different. This energy is something that you use to haggle with the customers. For example, let's take a look at these two guys here. Right now I have quite a few options that I can use on this particular customer, and it all depends on my energy, and it will also manipulate my energy in a certain way. So what can I do? I can sell the item, it'll give me some energy, and that's it. I can refuse to sell it, which will do nothing. Basically the customer will walk away. I can use small talk. Small talk basically has a chance of giving you more energy, about 10% of your total, but it actually gets lower as depending on how much energy you already have. So I might not be able to get the full 10% from small talk because I already have 149 energy here. If I had 0, I would get more. If I have 150, I would get less. If I'm close to 590, I'll get even less than that. So what I would normally do is I would do something else before I do the small talk, because I want to have as little energy here as possible to be able to benefit from this. Also, there's a chance that the small talk might backfire, which means that you'll lose energy. So if you manage to, for example, use this energy on something and then your small talk backfires, you're not going to lose that much energy because you can't go into the negative. It's going to hit the 0. You also have the option to suggest a different item. Normally you would do that, for example, for customers that come into the shop and look for a specific item that you don't have. You could choose to craft that item if you want to, but it's usually easier and faster to just suggest something else. It'll cost you some energy though, so keep that in mind. If you click on the 3 dots here, you can actually pick what type of item you want to suggest. Okay, now these two are interesting. You can discount the item, or you can surcharge the customer to either pay half the price or pay double the price. But this costs energy, or it gives you energy. So if you've been following what I've been talking about so far, you'll probably realize that this is where most of the game is all about. Basically, it's about selling the low tier cheap items at a discount to get energy, and then save it up for the more expensive items, which you will then surcharge and get double the price. So let me just show you how that works. Right now I don't have a lot of things on sale in the shop, so I'm just going to surcharge that. I get the double amount, and then I'm going to use the small talk because I want to see if I can get some extra energy here. It's a success, so from 59 it became 112. Then I sell the item, and it'll automatically move me to the next person. Having that much energy means that I can immediately surcharge them as well. I can use small talk. It's gonna backfire, but take a look. It got to 0, it cannot go below 0, so something that can be useful. And I'll just sell the item. Alright, so this is what this energy is all about. It's not like in other games where you can only go on 10 quests because that's how much energy you have. This is somebody who is offering me something to buy. I can also use small talk, and I can choose to pay more, which, if it's a cheap item, you could do it to get some extra energy. Or eventually, if you have enough energy, you can choose to pay less, so half the price. I'm just going to buy it though. Alright. Then this is your gold, and these are your gems. Gems are kind of like I said, the premium currency, and you can get some stuff right away, immediately. If you have the gems, you can get them for free from chests, from special rolls, from the Piggy Bank sometimes, and backfired, but we'll sell it anyway. So you can, there we go. You can get that for free as a free-to-play. By the way, I've been completely free-to-play for this month and a half that I've been playing. You can also go to the store, check out the deals. This is basically sort of like a monthly subscription. It's pretty decent. I've been thinking about it, but I'm probably not going to go for it. These are 2 workers which you can only get by buying them, I think. I don't believe there's another way of getting those. So they also give you some bonuses, like the 50% item break chance. This looks very lucrative considering your items break fairly often. This is actually the prizes from the fortune zone, so you can access those from here as well, and you get a bunch of offers here on the side. Also, this is your mailbox where you can check the latest news. Right now there's an event going on every day. For example, right now it's faster quests, 25%. They take 25% less time to complete. Tomorrow is going to be something different, most likely. You can check your achievements here to see where you are with those. You can check the leaderboards to see who's got the most gold earned, who's got the most hero power, shop prestige, guild net worth, and event score. You can also edit your avatar. When you start the game, you're going to be able to create an avatar. Don't worry too much about how he or she looks, because you can change everything, just like with the heroes. You can change everything from here. Alright. We also have the Piggy Bank. I've actually opened mine for today, but basically every single day you get a Piggy Bank. You need to sell a certain amount of items in gold. And when you do that, when you reach that gold threshold, you can break the piggy bank and it'll give you a random item. And for every 7 days you get the gold one, which gives you a better item. So it's just a bonus for being active in the game, or at least for a little while. This is usually not difficult to reach. The gold required is not difficult to reach, so you don't even have to spend that much time on the game to get this. And finally, you got the settings with the sound, music. You've got full screen enabled, VFX, so you can choose your language. You can switch your ID. For example, I had to copy my ID from the phone to the Steam client in order to be able to play the same account. You can choose the level of quality, the HUD size as well. I've chosen large so you guys can see this even if you're playing it in a small window. And this is the battle speed. You can go from normal to fast or to skip entirely, just show you the results. I went for fast because I kind of want to show you what the battle is all about. Alright, so let me just check if I'm missing anything. This is basically your level. It'll show you your net worth, prestige, investments, how many items you've mastered, how many ascensions you've done, how many times you've helped your guildies. And finally, on this particular page, this is your chat. You've got the world chat, you've got the guild chat, where you can talk to your guildies, and you've got also notifications. This will give you information such as who has picked up or completed a bounty from the guild, who has mastered or unlocked a specific item, who has, for example, invested in something for the guild, and who has helped you upgrade your furniture, because this is something else that you can do. But again, in a different video. And let's take a quick look at the city, because this video is already too long, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. This is basically the city with all the workers and all the different buildings that benefit you in some way or another. So if you zoom in here, you'll be able to see your guildies' shops. So for example, let's take Alpha. He is our guild leader. This is his shop. You can check out what he's got, what he's crafting, and so on. Sometimes you see an icon here that will allow you to clean the shop of a guildie. You have to clean up 3 items by tapping on them, and basically it gives you some guild coins, I think 10, and it brings up your friendship with them. But that's something else that will be covered in a different video. Alright, so you can see something that's slightly different here. You can go back to the shop from this button. You can check your characters as well here, just like from the other window. So this one doesn't change. However, here you've got the market. And in the market you have a place where you put your listings, things that you want to sell or buy. You can create an offer, create a request, or create a guild request. You unlock those by basically paying gold or gems. I've only unlocked 3. They're kind of getting expensive later on, but you actually don't need those. This is where you can check the offers, what other people are offering. You can buy stuff from here. You can use this show all offers button to see everything, and also to be able to sort it by type. I'm sorry. And the requests are where you're actually going to make most of your money, I think, because here, as you can see, I can only list 3 things to sell. But in the requests, if I go to show all requests, I can see what people are wanting to buy and the amount they want to buy it for. So let's take a look. here I can see that the base value, the value that I'm going to sell this for a regular customer in the shop is 14.5k, but somebody is offering 22k. So if I choose, I can sell it here and get more gold for it. That's something definitely worth considering if you're after gold. However, keep in mind that actually selling and buying things here, I really apologize for that. Selling and buying things here does not improve your level. Let me just show you real quick. So you can see here that XP required to get to the next level. This is basically the amount of gold that you need to make. But you can only make that in your shop, not from the market. Nothing from the market will count towards your XP, so it's kind of like a 50-50. Do you want to work on your level, or do you want to work on making money, or do you want to find a balance between both? That's kind of like what you need to decide when doing that. But like I said, the requests page is a good way of making money. Just you can even look for exactly what people are asking for. You can see what it's worth to your customers in the shop. You can see that it's worth a lot more here. So you can just craft a bunch of javelins and sell them for a pretty penny early on, of course, and that'll make you some decent gold. Alright, and finally you've got your guild requests here. Somebody is asking for pine cones. I don't really have that much, but I'll take a look at it later. Maybe I'll help out. Finally, this bouncy icon here means that somebody has requested help, and I can help them. You have a help all button, so it's very easy to help everybody at the same time. You can check the same request you saw earlier. You can see it here. And that's pretty much it. This is where you have your chests, different types of chests, and this is going to have an exclamation mark when you find the key and you have a chest that you can use it on. And finally, this is your guild UI. You have grab bags, which you can buy for guild coins. You get the guild coins from bounties, you get the guild coins from helping people out with their upgrades, for cleaning up their stores and so on. So you get a lot of those over time. And every 100 you can buy a grab bag. You have a choice of 3. You can pick whichever. It'll show you what you got, and it'll later show you what the other 2 bags had, so that you can feel bad if you didn't get the best item. These are the guild perks. Like I said earlier, these basically are the upgrades that affect the whole guild. You can have different things such as extra energy for weapon racks, extra resource capacity for rare resources, and so on and so forth. You can upgrade the level of the guild, which unlocks even better upgrades. So it's definitely something worth considering and looking into if you want to be a guild leader or a guild officer. All right, and you get those points, or what are they called? Renown. You get renown by completing every week. You get renown based on how many bounties you've completed. So that's something worth remembering. Okay, here are the bounties. Like I said, you can check here. You can get some info, how to earn renown, guild perks, so on. You can check how far you're in terms of bounties. For example, for every level you get a different renown reward, and if you get to the last level where you have 500 plus points, you get the maximum, which is 1000 renown. This is where you want to be basically at the end of the week. Finally, you've got the contributors page, which shows you who has contributed the most points in order. This is me right here. All right. Then you've got your friendships. Some info for the friendship level. Basically, the higher friendship level is with your guildies, the more energy that you get when they clean your store, because it's not just you cleaning their store, they can also clean your store, and based on the level, you basically, for every level of friendship, you get +5 energy, and you can use that to surcharge expensive items, so this can really make you some money. This is the help page that you can access easily from the city. These are the rankings for the guild, and a guild finder if you're looking to join a new guild. Alright, so this is, oh, one last thing. I've been keeping this so I can show you what a quest looks like. Let me just slow it down real quick. So these are my, this is my champion, and these are my heroes. You can see their levels here. He's 14, so he's a bit low, but he's okay because he's a, tanky. He can take a punch. This is the XP, and here it shows me how much time they're going to be resting before they can do another quest. This is the stuff that I get normally. So some quest components, some iron greaves, and this one I can only get if I have the monthly subscription. So I'll just hit collect and I'll get these two. I won't be getting this one, which is okay, of course. Alright, and this is the quest section. This is where you choose where you want your heroes and champions to go, and for example, let's send a couple teams out right now. Let's see. Okay, let's do one of these. So take a look at these smiley faces, by the way. This shows you how powerful your heroes are compared to the difficulty of the dungeon. So if they're grinning like this, it means they have no problems. But if they're only smiling, you might be looking at some trouble. However, if it could even be worse than that. Let's take a look at another quest. So if I take out the fourth person here, you can see that suddenly they start frowning. This means that they're not powerful enough to take on this quest with just the two of them. I would have to add more people for them to be more confident and be able to take out the quest. Or complete the quest, rather. But anyway, let's get back to that. I'm going to send these guys out to the Barren Wastes, and let's see if I can do another one real quick. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send some people for iron cones, because somebody was looking for iron cones earlier, so I'll just give them 50 and get some from the quest. So let's do that. Excellent. This is what I meant. I'll just fulfill their quest. I only have 74. They're requesting 50, so I can fulfill the entire thing, but I only have 24 left after that. But after I get some from the quest, from the heroes that I just sent, everything will be fine. Alrighty, so always happy to help out. Okay, I think this is it, guys. Hopefully you got a good idea of what the game is about. There's many more things that I want to talk to you about, but it's gonna take an hour or more. It's already taken about 40 minutes for this video, so hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got a better understanding of what the user interface is all about, what the game is all about. I'll be making more videos specifically focused on different aspects of the game, such as, for example, dealing with customers, such as quests, heroes, and so on. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see the rest, make sure you subscribe, because I'll be getting those out as early as I can, but of course it's not going to be immediately. Make sure you subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and until the next time.